In a world where courtrooms often seem cold and impersonal, there's one judge who brings warmth, compassion, and humanity to every case. Judge Caprio doesn't just rule on the law, he listens to the stories behind it. Today, we're diving into his courtroom to witness moments that are heartwarming, shocking, and unforgettable. From a grandfather's quiet sacrifice to a singing defendant who charmed the entire room, these cases prove that justice isn't just about rules. It's about understanding the people behind them. Before we begin, if you love real stories of kindness and second chances, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share this video with someone who could use a little inspiration. Now, let's get started. It was a cold winter morning and the courtroom was filled with the hum of quiet conversations. When the case of Mr. Patterson was called, an elderly man slowly rose to his feet. His gait was steady but careful, reflecting the weight of his 74 years. As he reached the podium, Judge Caprio greeted him warmly. "Good morning, sir. How are you today?" Mr. Patterson nodded politely. "Good morning, Your Honor. I'm fine, thank you." The judge reviewed the file before him. "It says here that you received a fine for failing to clear snow from your sidewalk. Can you explain what happened?" The elderly man adjusted his glasses and took a deep breath. "Your Honor, I take full responsibility. But I want to explain why I couldn't do it in time. I'm raising my 14-year-old granddaughter. Her parents passed away a few years ago, and it's just the two of us now." That morning, I was helping her prepare for her school exams. By the time I got outside, the city had already issued the citation. The courtroom fell silent. His voice, though steady, carried the weight of grief and responsibility. Judge Caprio leaned forward, his expression softening. "You're raising your granddaughter by yourself?" "Yes, Your Honor," Mr. Patterson replied. "She's a bright girl, and I want to give her the best life I can." Judge Caprio paused, clearly moved. "At 74 years old, you're doing what many people half your age would struggle with. That's incredible." He smiled gently. "Tell me, how is she doing in school?" "She's doing well, Your Honor," Mr. Patterson said, his face lighting up with pride. "She wants to be a teacher someday." The judge nodded thoughtfully. "You're not just clearing snow, you're paving the way for her future. And that's far more important." The courtroom broke into applause as Judge Caprio made his decision. "I'm dismissing this case, Mr. Patterson. Keep being the amazing grandfather you are, and give your granddaughter my best wishes." With tears in his eyes, Mr. Patterson thanked the judge and walked back to his seat. His story was a reminder of the extraordinary strength of love and the lengths we go to for the ones we care about. The next case was a young woman named Laura, who stood nervously at the podium. She clutched her hands tightly, her anxiety evident as Judge Caprio greeted her. "Good morning, Laura. Can you tell me why you're here today?" Laura hesitated, her voice trembling. "I was ticketed for speeding, Your Honor." The judge glanced at the report. "It says you were driving 15 miles over the speed limit. What happened?" Laura took a deep breath. "Your Honor, my son had an asthma attack. He couldn't breathe, and I panicked. I was rushing him to the hospital." The courtroom grew silent as her words sank in. Judge Caprio's expression softened immediately. "Is your son okay now?" he asked gently. "Yes, Your Honor. He's stable now. But that day was terrifying. I wasn't thinking about the speed limit. I just wanted to get him help." The judge nodded, his tone understanding. "Laura, being a parent is one of the hardest jobs in the world. I can't imagine the fear you must have felt in that moment." He paused before continuing. "Do you often have to take your son to the hospital?" Tears welled up in Laura's eyes. "He's been in and out of the hospital since he was a baby. I'm a single mom, and I do my best to take care of him, but it's hard." Judge Caprio leaned back in his chair, clearly moved. You're doing an incredible job, Laura. And I can tell how much you love your son. For this case, I'm waiving the fine. You don't deserve to be punished for being a good mother." Relief washed over Laura's face as she thanked the judge. The courtroom erupted in applause, a powerful acknowledgement of her strength and resilience. The next case involved Jake, an 18-year-old college student who stood before the bench with a mix of nervousness and determination. "Good morning, Jake," Judge Caprio greeted him. "It says here that you parked in a restricted zone. Can you tell me why?" Jake shifted uncomfortably. "Your Honor, I work nights and go to school during the day. That morning, I had just finished a double shift and parked there because I couldn't find another spot. I didn't want to be late for my exam." The judge raised an eyebrow. "A double shift? That sounds exhausting." Jake nodded. "It is, Your Honor, but I have to do it. My mom is sick, and I'm helping support our family." Judge Caprio's expression softened. "You're carrying a lot on your shoulders, Jake. What are you studying?" "Engineering, Your Honor," Jake replied. "I want to build a better future for my family." The judge smiled. "You've got a lot of determination, young man. That's something to be proud of." He paused before delivering his decision. "Jake, you've got enough on your plate. I'm waiving this fine, and I want you to focus on your studies. Don't let anything stop you from reaching your goals." The young man's eyes filled with gratitude as he thanked the judge. The courtroom erupted in applause, a testament to the admiration everyone felt for his hard work and resilience. The next case brought a lighthearted yet deeply meaningful moment to Judge Caprio's courtroom. A young man named David was accused of parking in a handicapped spot without a permit. As David stepped forward, his nervous demeanor was evident. "Good morning, Your Honor," he said, his voice shaky. "Good morning, David. It says here you parked in a reserved spot. Can you tell me why?" Judge Caprio asked. David took a deep breath. "Your Honor, I didn't mean to park there. I was returning a wallet I found on the street to the store it belonged to. I was in such a rush to do the right thing that I didn't notice the sign." The judge raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "You returned a wallet. Did the owner get it back?" "Yes, Your Honor," David replied. "The store manager helped me find the owner, and they were so grateful. It felt good to help." The courtroom murmured in admiration. Judge Caprio smiled warmly. "David, not everyone would go out of their way to do what you did. I believe your intentions were noble. I'm dismissing this case, but I hope this serves as a reminder to check signs next time." The courtroom erupted into applause as David thanked the judge. This case was a touching example of how small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Finally, the courtroom met Mr. Williams, a quiet man in his 70s who stood at the podium with a calm, composed demeanor. "Good morning, Mr. Williams." Judge Caprio greeted him. "You're here for a red light violation. Can you tell us what happened?" Mr. Williams nodded. "Yes, Your Honor. I was on my way to pick up my wife from dialysis. She depends on me for everything, and I must have been too focused on getting to her." The judge leaned forward, his expression softening. "How long has your wife been undergoing dialysis?" 5 years, Your Honor," Mr. Williams replied. "She's my everything. We've been married for 50 years, and I'll do whatever it takes to be there for her." The courtroom grew quiet, moved by his words. Judge Caprio smiled gently. "It's clear how much you love your wife. You've stood by her side through it all. That kind of commitment is rare." The judge paused before continuing. "I'm dismissing this case, Mr. Williams. I hope your wife's health improves, and I wish you both many more years together." Mr. Williams thanked the judge with a tearful smile. His story was a poignant reminder of the enduring power of love and dedication. From a grandfather raising his granddaughter to a devoted husband standing by his wife's side, these cases remind us of the humanity that exists, even in the smallest acts. Which case moved you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if these stories inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible moments from Judge Caprio's courtroom. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.